It was the kind of night that wrapped you in silence, the kind where even the wind seemed to whisper secrets. No one wanted to hear I had just finished a long shift at the diner where I worked. Part-time, exhausted and numb from another day of pretending. Everything in my life was fine. The truth was, everything felt incomplete. There was a hole I carried in my chest, one I had gotten used to over the years because my father had vanished when I was 16. No note, no call. One day he was there, the next day gone. My mom did her best to keep things together, raising me alone, picking up more hours at the hospital, and trying not to break under the weight of everything he left behind. I stopped asking about him when I turned 18. I thought too much. He became a ghost. I tried not to think about until the night had come me back. It was a little past 300 a.m. The house was still. I had fallen asleep on the couch watching old reruns wrapped in a blanket, the television buzzing low in the background. I was somewhere between sleep and consciousness when I heard the knock. At first I thought I was dreaming, but then it came again. 3 soft knocks, deliberate and slow. I sat up, heart thudding in my chest. Who knocks at 3 in the morning? I glanced toward the window. The porch light flickered slightly, and I could make out the shape of someone standing there. My first instinct was fear. I grabbed my phone, debating whether to call the police, but something in me, some strange gut-deep feeling, made me get up and walk toward the door. When I opened it, I froze, my breath caught in my throat. There, standing under the porch light in a soaking wet jacket, looking years older and far more fragile than I remembered, was my father, Madison. He said, his voice cracking with emotion. "It's me. It's Dad." For a moment, I couldn't speak, couldn't move. I just stared at him like he was some ghost resurrected from my past. His eyes, once sharp and confident, now looked tired and haunted. He had a scruffy beard, sunken cheeks, and hands that trembled slightly as he held them, out in some form of peace offering. What are you doing here?" I finally managed to say, my voice barely a whisper. "I didn't know where else to go." He said, "I needed to see you, everything." Inside me screamed to slam the door to protect myself from whatever storm he had brought with him, but instead I stepped aside and let him in. My body moved. Before my brain could catch up, he walked into the living room, slowly glancing around as if the place held memories he'd long tried to forget. I noticed the way he looked at the pictures on the wall, especially the one of me and Mom from my high school graduation. He took a deep breath and turned to face me. "I know I don't deserve to be here," he said, "but I'm sick, Maddie. I don't have a lot of time, and I needed to talk to you before it's too late." Those words hit me like a freight train. Sick? What kind of sick? 100 questions raced through my mind, but I couldn't ask any of them not. Yet I just stood there, arms crossed, a million emotions crashing against each other inside my chest. "It should probably go," he said, his voice low. I just wanted to see you once more." I didn't know what came over me, but I shook my head and told him he could stay the night. I got him a blanket, sundry clothes my ex-boyfriend had left behind, and pointed him toward the couch. I didn't say much. I didn't have the words, but deep down, a small part of me, tiny and fragile, wanted to believe that this man was still my dad. The next morning I woke up to find a letter on the kitchen table, written in the same careful handwriting I remembered from when he used to leave notes in my lunchbox. It was long, filled with apologies and truths I hadn't expected. He explained that he had been diagnosed with a degenerative neurological disorder 5 years ago. Shortly before he disappeared, the doctors told him it could lead to memory loss, confusion, even aggression. He panicked. He thought leaving was the only way to protect us. He didn't want us to watch him deteriorate. He thought he was doing the right thing. Reading those words made something snap inside me. Anger, sadness, betrayal. I wanted to scream at him. Tosk, why he didn't trust us, why he didn't let us make that choice together. But when I walked into the living room and saw him sitting there with his head in his hands, I couldn't bring myself to yell. Instead, I sat down across from him and asked, "Why now?" He looked up, eyes red. "Because I'm getting worse. The doctors say there might be a treatment that could help slow it down, but I need a family member to consent to the program, and your mom, she won't talk to him." I could feel the resentment bubbling. Under the surface, he left, he abandoned us, and now he needed something. But then I thought about what it meant to lose someone, truly lose them. What if this was my only chance to understand what happened, to get answers? Maybe even to forgive. "I'll help you," I said slowly. "But not because you deserve it. Because I need to know if you're still the man house to sing to me at bedtime, if there's anything left of that person. For the next several weeks, he stayed with me while undergoing the experimental treatment program. Some days were good. He was sharp alert, even funny. He remembered old jokes, told stories from his younger days, and we watched baseball together, like we used to. But other days were bad. He'd forget where he was. He called me by the wrong name once he cried over a photograph of my mom one night. He woke up screaming. I ran to the living room and found him sitting upright, drenched in sweat, mumbling something about fire and shadows. I sat with him until he calmed down, and he held my hand like he used to when I was little, his grip trembling. "I'm scared, Maddie," he whispered. "I don't want to forget you." "You won't," I said, even though I wasn't sure it was true. Then came the morning I woke up and he was gone. No warning, no note, his things were gone, and the house was silent. I panicked, called the hospital even, filed a report, but weeks passed, and there was no trace of him. It felt like losing him all over again. Then, on a quiet afternoon about 2 months later, I received a package in the mail. No return address. Inside was a photo of the two of us, him in his hospital. Robeam laughing at something he'd said. Tucked inside was a USB drive. I plugged it in and found a single video file. I opened it, hands shaking. He was sitting on a park bench, bundled in a coat, his face thinner, but still holding that quiet strength I remembered. "Hey, kiddo," he said, smiling weakly. "If you're watching this, it means I had to go. I didn't want to leave like this, but I couldn't let you watch me disappear piece by piece. I want you to remember me as I was during those good weeks. I want you to remember that I love you, that I'm proud of you, that I never stopped thinking about you." He paused, his eyes glassy with tears. "You gave me something I never thought I'd have again. A second chance. Thank you for letting me back." And even if only for a little while, the screen faded to black. I sat there for hours crying, not because he left, but because he came back when I needed him most, even if I didn't know it at the time. Even though he broke my heart, he gave me something I didn't realize I was still missing: closure, peace. Maybe even healing?